That's why when our clients come to us speaking about the experiences, I know how they feel. Like I literally know because I've been in the exact same position or maybe even worse. Like I totally get it. Hello guys, and welcome back to the channel. So hope you're all doing well, and just thought I would do a bit of a vlog today. It's been a while since we've had a vlog. I feel like there's a lot to catch up on. I'm currently in London, been here for 2.5 weeks now, staying for 2 more weeks until the end of this month, staying with my friends. So it's been really lovely just having some free accommodation. Honestly, I'm so like grateful for the people in my life because my expenses have been pretty high with like a lot of traveling in the last few months. So it's just nice having like almost like a home base in London. I definitely wouldn't have that if I didn't know her. So yeah, I've been here for a while, and today basically started off the day with oats because I'm back on the oat train. It's been a while since I've had oats, but I'm just loving it at the moment, and it's just super easy and fast to make. And then had a webinar call. So every Friday at 9 AM I do have a webinar with my coach in terms of programming, coaching wise, how can I become the best coach possible, create the best coaching program ever. That is the mission, that is the goal. And then obviously follow that up with client check-ins. So Friday, Saturday, Sundays are our client check-ins, and that's always so nice. It's so just like wholesome and just rewarding seeing these girls progress physically, mentally, everything. There's been a lot of like introspect as well, and like a lot of reflections going on within the community, because I think, you know, fitness is so much more than just your fitness program in terms of like your exercise or nutrition. It really is like your own self-love, self-compassion, your values, realizing what you really want out of life, making the best use out of life. I think life is so short, and if it's like one thing you can take away from these vlogs and from following me is like life is short. Go after what you want, become the best version of yourself. Make sure you're waking up every day doing something that's challenging you, doing something that's growing you as a person, that's giving you more life experiences. Life is too short to wake up every day not liking how you look, not liking how you feel, being low in energy, knowing that you're not serving yourself, and knowing that you could be doing more but you're not doing it. I think that's the most frustrating thing, right? Anyways, I am currently waiting for my bagel to toast in the oven because my friend doesn't have a toaster. And then I'm gonna have some bananas with it and some PB, and then I'm gonna go out for a run because life update, guys, I'm now a marathon runner. I'm kidding, I'm not yet. Basically, obviously my bodybuilding days are over. That was an amazing challenge, an amazing experience, but I realized it wasn't serving me. If you guys haven't seen the video, I posted a long video to talk about it before on my channel, so go back and have a look there. I'll pop the link here if I remember. But I'm like, you know what, I'm someone who really values growth and challenging myself, doing new things, experiencing new things, and I want to see what my body can do. And if you know me, I'm not a runner. Like, I don't run. I've probably been on like 5 runs out of my whole life. But I went on one the other day and I was like, you know what, this feels good. It's challenging, but it feels kind of nice doing something new. Obviously I still resistance train and I still want to like, you know, work my body that way, and I love weightlifting, but I just want to add another element to it. Did I start the oven? Yeah. So I was calling my coach the other day and I was like, you know what, like I want to ingrain more running into my routine, but I feel like I need a bigger goal. I'm someone who really is goal driven. I like being able to stretch myself and do something that's a bit challenging. So he was like, let's set ourselves a goal, a half marathon. How does that sound to you? And I was like, you know what? That sounds scary, but let's do it. So he was like, okay, let's set a goal of like 12 to 14 weeks and see how we go. So I'm now going to be training for a half marathon. I haven't got my program just yet in terms of like my nutrition or like how I'm gonna kind of like how many sessions I'm going to do each week. He's still working on it, but today I just feel like I'm just gonna go on a run because I feel like it right now. I think is a good way to just like take a break from my computer as well. So yeah, I'm gonna try hit 5K, see how I go with that. Yeah, exciting times. But yeah, I'm gonna just take you guys through, I guess, what I eat today as well, and just kind of my routine and my life currently in London. So yeah, sit back, relax. I hope you enjoy this vlog, and make sure to give a like whilst you're here, and yeah, let's go get this running. So we have some pre-run fuel here. Excuse my nails. These caramel rice cakes are so good. And then we've got a bagel, the banana, then some peanut butter. So peanut butter for fats, which kind of slows down your digestion a little bit. Some carb sauces here. Yeah, ready to go. All right, so back from the run, and that wasn't too bad, that 5K. It wasn't too bad. I genuinely think like my bodybuilding days has prided me, like the amount of hours I spent on that freaking Stairmaster. I think it's prided me for like not be too horrendous at cardio. Honestly, I think the only thing that I was struggling with was definitely like more the mental side of things, of being like, I'm so freaking bored. Don't know what it is. I was just like, I'm so bored. But I found some really nice songs and like a really cool playlist on Spotify. I think it's just called like gym workouts to make you regret dumping me or something along those lines. Like I think some really heartbroken girl made it, but it was full of like Ariana Grande, Lady Gaga, Nicki Minaj, and it was just like pop songs after pop songs. So I was like, yeah, let's go. I'll put my pace here. I don't think that's too bad for my first 5K, to be fair. So yeah, I'm pretty like pleasantly surprised with that, and I feel really good now. I know what people talk about when they say like that like post-run endorphins, like it feels good. So I'm now refreshed and ready to finish off another block of work. So just gonna head back to check-ins, and I am just gonna make a post-run meal slash lunch slash meal 3, whatever you want to call it. So I have these vegetarian sausages here, absolutely love them, and then some bagel thins. So this one's the wholemeal and rye bagel, and then I'm just gonna have some greens with it, some salad. So I've got my protein from the vegetarian sausages. I'm not vegetarian, but I just do like having a variety of different foods in my diet. Like I just love food. And then a bagel thin for carbs post-workout. And then I might have some fast digesting carbs as well, see what's in the pantry. But I've re-logged out all my meals for today anyway, so I kind of can't be arsed changing things around. So I'm gonna have that, head back to work, and then I'm probably gonna pop down to Hellooo Barrett to grab some supplements. I'm out of flaxseed oil, which has been really helpful for my hormones. It's been doing wonders for my skin as well. So I'm gonna grab that, some fish oil, some magnesium, also out of magnesium, which has been great for my sleep, but also for my recovery and energy and like muscle soreness. So highly recommend if you guys haven't been taking any supplements. Flaxseed oils is amazing. It really helped me actually get my menstrual cycle back as well. I still need to record a sit down chit chat about that. Omega-3s, obviously fish oil. Anyways, I'm gonna pop this stuff into the oven, and then I'm gonna head right back to work. Okay, ready to go grab some supplements, and I just show you guys my outfit. Honestly, I have just been recycling all my outfits because it came with one suitcase. Didn't think I'd be staying in London for this long. Thought I'd be home in 2 weeks time. Clearly am not going home. Long story short, left with no return flights. Realized that I don't wanna return, so yeah, so I'm very grateful that London has actually been somewhat warm. Like it hasn't been too cold, that I've been surviving just in like a leather jacket and a cardigan and like flowy pants, because this is probably like the warmest outfit I do have with me, and I don't really want to be buying a whole winter wardrobe or like a coat or anything because one, don't have enough space. I have one suitcase. Number two, the suitcase max I think on Emirates is 40 kgs, so can't really go beyond that. I think I'm around like 32 kgs at the moment with my suitcase, so there's still a bit of room, but ideally like to be, you know, traveling but light, because I'm not sure how much longer I'm going to be away for, and it's just easier when you don't have too much with you. And from my incident of losing my suitcase, I now know that I don't need that much. And obviously number three, what's number three? My third reason, because I have a whole winter wardrobe back at home, so I don't want to be spending extra money buying things that I just don't need. Hence, I'm gonna run away from the winter. So in 2 weeks time, I will be leaving London. It's November, and I'm pretty sure by November it's gonna be pretty cold. I'm surprised it hasn't been too cold just yet, because we are at the end of October, and that's when things kind of go downhill in the UK, usually before then. So I am off to Dubai next month, and then Bali the next month. So obviously two very warm countries. So I'm gonna try to stick around my warm areas so that I don't have to pack too much. Anyways, I'm gonna head off to Hellooo Barrett to grab some supplements. So yeah, let's get going. Hey, so back now, and I have bought more than supplements. I went on a little grocery haul and also bought some proteins. So we have some tofu here, tempeh, tofu, some salmon, and then some smoked salmon as well. So just stocking up for this week pretty much. And for dinner, I'm gonna make some tempeh. Just gonna put that in the oven or the frying pan, and then bake some sweet potatoes. But I'll just show you guys actually the supplements I bought and kind of go through why I have them. Might be helpful, might not be. I think it'll be helpful, so let's get started. All right guys, so starting off, we have the flaxseed oil that I talked about. So I have 3 every night. I started taking this when I was like, I need to get my shit together. I want to work on my health, my hormonal health, especially after having competed for 2 years and just being on and off diets. Basically, I had lost my cycle, and this was one of the things that I jumped on straight away. I read quite a lot about it, but apparently it's really good for your hormones. So flaxseed oil for each night. sea kelp, so great source of iodine. It runs my family, but we have low T3 and T4, so low thyroids. And so basically I was going through a phase where basically I was so tired, fatigued, like I literally had no energy, got my bloods done, and basically was on the border of being hypo. So yeah, this has been really helpful. As well as this, I also have iodine salt, so salt with added iodine. Again, I just was lacking iodine in my diet because I was having like Himalayan salt and all this stuff, which is amazing for you, but you do need a bit of iodine in your diet. So this is also going to be really helpful because I am traveling and I can't always like ensure that I have iodized salt. Next we have magnesium, just because magnesium again is great for tiredness, fatigue, and also for supporting your bones and your muscles. So when you do have like really bad DOMS, magnesium can really help. Then we have vitamin C and zinc, basically just for immune function really, especially because I'm again traveling around. I just want to make sure that I don't get too sick because I know that I have been somewhat sick the last few weeks, well, since traveling. Why is this so sticky? Anyways, I have some probiotics just for gut health because I've had food poisoning since being away, and I just want to make sure again that because I'm traveling and having like different kind of foods and water and stuff, I just want to make sure that I'm looking after my gut health. Next we have fish oil. Talked about this. Omegas are amazing for your heart health, but also for your like vision and like your eyes. Just a really great kind of supplement to have, especially if you don't regularly have like oily fish, for example salmon. Next we have primrose oil, so really great for hormonal function as well, especially for females. So again, all to support my hormones, just to make sure that again I'm looking after my menstrual cycle, because I feel like my body's still quite sensitive. When I have like months where I'm traveling, I will again skip my period. Well, like not intentionally, like it just skips. If I'm sick, if I'm a little bit more stressed out, I will just lose it again, just because I think my body's just been so like under so much stress from competing. Obviously also mental stress, that plays such a big factor, but when you run your own business, I think it's very hard to switch off, and I am naturally someone who does strive off like stress and stressful environments, and it's hard for me to really wind down and calm down and just reduce like my cortisol. So I have realized that I do need to work a bit more on just my hormonal health in general and my stress and everything, because it's all tied together and that does affect your menstrual cycle. And then speaking about stress and all that, ashwagandha, have stopped taking this whilst I've been traveling. Again, something that I really used to rely on a lot. Well, not rely on, but I would always have this in my supplement routine back at home. Again, great for stress, for relaxing you, for emotional balance, for hormonal balance. So really great for bringing down cortisol as well. I usually would take this after I went for like a exercise session, so resistance training, gym, anything that would spike your cortisol. Really great way just to bring down that cortisol again, which is your stress hormone. So it kind of looks like I brought out the whole of Holland and Barrett, but yeah, I pretty much did. This is gonna be fun carrying in my suitcase, but I think those are the essentials. So yeah, I'm gonna be traveling with all of this. I have the sweet potatoes in the oven, and then I'm just gonna chop up my tempeh now, which is basically, it's just all the protein. It's great if you're on a vegan or vegetarian diet. It's pretty much just made of soybeans. I love this with tahini or peanut butter. Either I'll fry it in a pan or just bake it in the oven, and it becomes quite crispy. You can also marinate it with like soy sauce or tamari, and it has this like, you make it more like Asian flavored, but I love tempeh. Like there's so many different ways to make it. Satay if you want to add like peanut butter to it. So I'm gonna make that, and then yeah, I will show you guys what I had for dinner, but pretty much just been sticking to the same stuff really. Bagel, sweet potatoes, and then finding a protein source. I've been cycling around salmon, tempeh, tofu, and then the vegetarian sausages and some prawns. That's kind of been my staple protein go-to sources. Big tip here is just like find a few staple sources that you love and just cycle around them. Like it makes life so much easier. Now, I will also just have a little sit down chit chat with you guys about my relationship with food and what I've been doing in the past few months since traveling in terms of how I've been approaching nutrition and exercise. I think it might be really beneficial for you, especially I think for those who maybe are struggling with food at the moment, your relationship with food, intuition, knowing how to be a bit more mindful, eating without tracking, eating on the go. Very helpful stuff coming up. So yeah, stay tuned.
I've been trying hard to keep my cool, but when you're near, there's nothing that I can do. When you're walking in, I know it's true. It doesn't even matter how hard I try, 'cause when I hear your voice, my walls come down. Boy, you are the only thing I want. There must be a way I can make you see that if we fell in love, it would be so sweet. But when it's you and me, nobody can bring us down, bring us down.
Alright, so dinner is done and just wanted to talk to you guys about the last few months. So obviously I've been traveling quite a bit, but before I left, like I just had a lot going on where my tracking was pretty much more like 60-40, 30-70, 70% of the time, 60% of the time I'd be tracking just to kind of make sure that I'm hitting my proteins and just getting enough food in me. I think it's nice knowing, especially if you are someone who trains quite a lot and goes to the gym quite a bit, how much you're having and that you are hitting your proteins, you know, on the majority of times, just so that you can kind of look after obviously your energy recovery and all of that. I think, you know, it's important to know how to eat intuitively, but at the same time, unless you are actually really thinking about the foods or kind of have been, you know, tracking for a while, sometimes it is still very easy to maybe miss things here and there. And I think, you know, like the more that you can kind of control in terms of what's going in and out, the better for your own performance. But in saying that, I think again, it's important to have time away from that and know that you can just be mindful and also know what your body needs. So that is kind of what I have been doing for the last month, especially in Bali. Like I literally was just enjoying all the food there. Training was very intuitive. I would just fit in a session if I had time. If I didn't, like no stress because I am away. Now being back in London, I am just trying to get back into more of a regular routine just because I know that I thrive from it. I think if you want to, like, you know, make better use of your time, get things done and work on yourself whilst doing other things, that routine is so important. And yeah, I know I thrive from it. So I have just been easing my way back into tracking. So mainly like 80-20 now. So if I am seeing friends out, I will just have that day off as like an intuitive day. I pretty much eat the same foods anyways, so I kind of know that I am hitting my proteins, and then I'm going to leave around like 1,000 calories for the rest of the day just to go out and have a nice meal out, just because most meals out are going to be a bit more indulgent. And then the other rest of the time I will just be tracking. So if I'm home all day, I'm just going to track and just make sure that I am, you know, having a variety of different foods, hitting my proteins from different sources. I quite like mixing up my lunch and dinner sources. Sometimes I'm going to have the same protein source because I'm not too fussed with carbs. You can probably see that I've pretty much just been sticking with bagels and oats because it's easy and I enjoy it. But this is more so from like a performance basis, just because I am wanting to obviously now incorporate running, try different things and train for a half marathon. So I just do want to make sure that I am fueling my body enough, but not so much from like a body composition point of view, because I'm quite happy with where I am at the moment. I've just been maintaining since deciding not to compete. I've gained a little bit of body fat because I know I needed that from a hormonal perspective and a health perspective, especially because that was sort of the main goal of mine, and it still is, just to make sure that I'm getting regular periods now ever since I've stepped away from competing, because that was the reason why I lost my cycle. So a lot of like the way I've been eating is very much based on like health, balance, making sure I'm getting like healthy fats and all that stuff. So yeah, I'm tracking now just because, again, as I said, I want to make sure I'm having enough food and just hitting my proteins and also fueling before and after my like runs and everything. And also with my weight perspective as well, I was actually just like reflecting on this with my best friend Alia, because both from like a relationship with food standpoint, where I'm just right now so intuitive and I can be so mindful and just maintain without even thinking twice and just having such a calm approach with food, and also my weight, where I literally have not weighed myself since leaving New Zealand. I have no idea what I weigh until yesterday, because I bought a scale just because, again, if I'm starting to run again, I just want to make sure that I'm at least maintaining my weight, and if I see my weight dropping, I just want to make sure that my coach knows so that he can also bump up food, because I don't want to be dropping weight at this point. I just want to make sure that, again, my body fat levels stay at this point, because maybe I want to be slightly leaner from my own perspective, but from a health perspective, I know that I need to be at this weight, and I'm completely fine with that. Like, I'm so chill with it. But we were just reflecting at how, you know, just 2 years ago, even a year ago, I was in a completely different mental state around food and my body. And I'm telling you guys this because I guess I forgot how far I've come, and I just want you guys to recognize, like, if you guys are somewhat in a position where you're struggling with food or your body image right now, to know that there is a way out. It's not, you know, the end of the world. Like, this is not your life for the rest of your life. Sorry, not the end of the world, but this is not your life for the rest of your life. You know, like, I was in a position after my shows and everything where I had such bad body dysmorphia that I literally, like, I could not recognize myself. I was crying over how I looked. I was just so uncomfortable. And now in hindsight, I'm like, I really didn't look that bad, but I was just in a state where I literally like it didn't really matter how I looked, but it was more like my own perception of myself. And secondly, with my relation with food, oh my gosh, guys, I was literally binging on frozen crumpets. Like, that was how bad it was. Like, I would go through everything in the kitchen until the point where like I was like, I still need more food, and I would eat frozen crumpets. Like, that was how bad my relationship with food was. And even with my like cheat meals and stuff, I would have like a massive cheat meal each weekend. I didn't need all that food, but like, your girl can eat. So when you can eat already, like when you have a big capacity for food and then you have a terrible relationship relationship with food and you're on that binge cycle. Honestly, I remember like I had just started my first corporate job. They'd be sending home like snack packs and I'd be literally having all their gift boxes within like the second that I got it. Like just, yeah, it was bad. Like I'd be having like a full on like 12, I think it's 12 inch, like those massive like home sized pizzas, and then like donuts, ice cream on top, like 2 tubs of ice cream, Squares bars, like a whole pack of Squares bars dipped in like chocolate. Like it was crazy. Like it was not okay. And like it was definitely very unhealthy. And you know, I felt like that was my life. Food consumed my thoughts 24/7. Like every work call, I'd be thinking about like the next thing I could eat. I'd log everything in FitnessPal, hoping that I would stick to it, but then I would overeat, or I would just be like, oh fuck it, and just have everything else. Like I'd have what I logged in and then have extra. Yeah, it was horrendous. Like my food focus was so high, I literally could not think about anything else but food, and then I'd get guilty afterwards, you know, and it was mentally and physically draining. And that's why when our clients come to us speaking about the experiences, I know how they feel. Like I literally know, because I've been in the exact same position, or maybe even worse. Like I totally get it, and it really does affect your life quality. It affects your social life, your personal life, right? Even your work, because like when you're spending that much energy to think about food and trying to like control yourself around food, you don't have much energy left towards, you know, your job or anything else. So yeah, like it's incredible to now be like, oh my gosh, like I haven't even reflected on this, but now I'm in a place where like I'm literally so calm around food. Like I barely think about it. Obviously I love food, so I'd be like, oh, I wish like I could have XYZ things, so I'm craving this because I just love food, but I'm no longer emotionally attached towards it. Like I can look at food and be like, okay, whatever, moving on, and I can still enjoy food and not overthink it. When I go out to eat, like I don't come home anymore and raid through my pantry. I don't feel like I need to have like a massive dessert afterwards just because, oh fuck it, I went out to eat, so why not have more? Like I can really just listen to my body and be like, I'm quite full now, so I'm not gonna have it. Or like even if I'm not overly full, just to go home and be like, I'm not hungry, so I don't actually need any food. If I want something sweet, I'll just have like, I know, a piece of dark chocolate, or maybe just like one snack bar and then just go to bed, rather than letting that snack bar then become like a binge, or even just like overindulging. Like even if it's not a binge and you're in control, still just having that mindset of being like, oh fuck it, let me just have more food, because why not? It's like, it's taken time to get to this point, but it's just the most freeing feeling ever. And that's why, again, we're so passionate about helping like our ladies get to this point, because like when we work with our clients, they usually start off in a position where they are pretty food focused, and you can tell like it really does impact their life. And sometimes it's hard talking to others about it, because it's hard to understand unless you've been there, right? And sometimes it's a bit like hard to tell someone, because it's like when you think about it, it's like you literally being like, oh my gosh, I think about food a lot. It's like, what? But when you've been through that, you get like how detrimental it can be to your life quality. So yeah, like I just wanted to use this as like a little like inspo for you guys. Like if you are stuck in that position, like you will be able to get out of it. Trust me, like it does take work. It does take a lot of self-compassion on yourself, but also a lot of tough love, but also like guidance. So if you are in that position and you need some help, my DMs are open. Just flick me a message on Instagram. More than happy to help. Like our coaching is literally like a big emphasis is helping people with their relationship with food, because I want you to also be in a position where I am, where Izzy's at, our second coach, where you can just eat and not think about it, right? Fuel your body, nourish it, eat the foods you love, have that balance, be able to go out and know when to stop, you know? So very important. Anyways, I'm gonna have my food before it gets cold, and I will catch you guys in a bit. All right, so about to make the last meal. Just gonna go ahead and make my yogurt bowl, you guys all know. And just wanted to wrap up the vlog here and just basically talk about, I guess, like what I'm planning on doing in the next kind of few months, because I know a few of you guys have asked on Instagram. Essentially, I am just living a very homeless life at the moment, my best life. I've just been enjoying the fact that I can kind of work from anywhere and just be anywhere. I realized that New Zealand, the environment wasn't really a place that I was thriving in. I felt pretty stagnant, I'm not gonna lie. The conversations and everything, like I really just want to be in an environment where I'm surrounded by like-minded people who are, you know, also entrepreneurs, or people just like business-minded, growth-minded. And I'm not to say like that you can't find that in New Zealand, but I just found myself like just becoming really comfortable. And I think like it was great for a few months just to kind of, you know, be able to slow down, smell the roses, really be reminded to stop and smell the roses. That's something I think I do struggle with, but at the same time, I just wanted to grow. Like I want to grow. I want to build my business. I want to meet people who inspire me, who are doing better than me, who make me feel like the smallest fish in the ocean. And just like going to, you know, the masterminds and the events from my two coaches here, and being surrounded in a network of like other online coaches, it was just so inspiring, and it just gave me so much like more drive and like a fire in my belly of just wanting to build Alleyway to a bigger kind of community, to make more impact, to really just like continue growing this thing and also growing as a person. And I just felt like, you know, since getting home, that was something that became a lot slower. I definitely enjoyed life a lot more, and I think I finally kind of realized what that balance was that I needed. But I just want to find a place where I can have both, because I find that London is very hustle, go, and it's hard sometimes just to like calm down and be a bit more present and grounded. But then New Zealand, I think, was just on the other side of the spectrum. awesome. So next month, as I said, I will be going to Dubai. My best friend Alia has just moved out there. It was something I'd been thinking about for a while, but I think it was just like the temperature and like how everything's like so man-made that really put me off just from like testing it out. But she's been loving it. She was like, I think you really love it. So I was like, you know what, I don't think it's fair for me to cross off a place and be like, oh nah, just because of maybe like assumptions I've already made. I'm gonna be there for a month. I've got 2 Airbnbs there. They literally cost me a kidney. I'm just kidding. But yeah, no, it wasn't the cheapest, but I think I'd regret it if I didn't actually give myself the time just to be like, could this be like a place that I'd like to live in for a few years? I know like the environment's great in terms of like people there. I think it's more just the heat and the fact that again, everything is so man-made. I know that I am really grounded by nature and like greenery. Yeah, so we'll see. And then the following month, I will be flying back out to Bali and Canggu. I'll be staying there. I've booked my Airbnb and then my family will be meeting me mid-December to New Year's, so just nice to see them. I was meant to obviously go home, but because I'm not, we just want to meet somewhere so that we can spend some time together at Christmas and New Year's and just the holidays. So that's really exciting, and yeah, I am buzzing for that. Honestly, I love Bali so much. So I definitely do think like I do want to spend a substantial amount of time next year there, maybe like a good 6 months, we'll see. But right now I'm just sort of in a homeless nomad phase, I like to call it a homeless phase, where I'm just kind of booking plane tickets as I go, just trying to find a place I really love. It's a bit of a pinch me moment. I cried at the last event I went to by my coach because it had just finally hit me that I'm literally living a life that I've always kind of envisioned for myself. I manifested it for so long to be able to just like travel, do something I'm really passionate about in terms of my job, make an impact to other females around the world, just make a positive impact. I think that really just, yeah, that just like fulfills me so much. Like that is like my mission, like just making a positive impact in other people's lives. I don't know why I'm like tapping my chest and my boobs, and to be able to obviously see the world, to explore it, to feel free. I've never liked the idea of feeling restricted. I think that's also why perhaps I just didn't do so well mentally with my corporate job, because I just felt so like I don't have control. Like someone else is telling me what to do, when to do it, when I can leave, when I can do things in my life, and I value freedom a lot. Yeah, so I literally just like started crying because I was like, oh my gosh, I was like, it just finally hit me. Like I'm always like go and you do more and more and more. I think it just never really hit me that I'm literally already living a life that I've always envisioned, and obviously I want to continue growing. I want to do more, but at the same time I think I forget to just be like, hey Ching, just stop for a second and just like realize what you have now, realize what you've built already, and like give yourself some credit. I tell like our clients to always give themselves credit, to always like reflect and, you know, where they are today versus a month ago, 2 months ago. But I think I still struggle to do that myself, and I think we are always going to be our biggest obstacles in any sort of way, right? And I think for me it's really just like being able to give myself a pat on the back. I really struggle, right? But yeah, that day after the like whole day's event, it was like at 5 p.m. we were just wrapping up the day, and it just all of a sudden hit me, and I was sitting right in front of the whole mastermind as well. So I was like, oh my god, that's so embarrassing. But I was literally just like trying to hold back my tears because I was just like, I was filled with so much like gratitude. It was the most like insane feeling. Like I literally was just like crying from happiness, from gratitude, from just like all the stuff. Like yeah, I'm just like, I'm so grateful for everything, for the universe, for you guys. Like I wouldn't be here without you guys, so I hope you guys know that. So I really appreciate you obviously coming along and everything and just following the journey. But yeah, here's to just building the community even bigger, making more impact, hopefully inspiring you guys to also do the same. I hope that you guys take a lot out of these vlogs to do more with your life, to really chase after your goals. Like life is so short. I keep saying this, I know it sounds a bit like sadistic, but it's short. You know, this year's gone by in a blink. Like do something for yourself, put yourself first, please. When you put yourself first, everything else is going to come as well. Yeah, so anyways, gonna wrap up the vlog here. Gonna make my yogurt bowl, which I'm gonna put in here. And thank you guys so much for coming along. If you enjoy this vlog, make sure to give it a like, give it a thumbs up, subscribe if you're new here, drop in the comments if you'd like anything else, any topics you want me to cover, any other more vlogs, anything regarding life, what I'm up to, anything you'd like, drop in the comments, let me know, and I will see you guys. Oh my gosh, I'm clearly rambling for too long. My memory space? The memory space on my SD card was filled, so I was just about to say bye and it cut me off, so bye.